good evening, everyone. I like that my mic is actually working. I'm the Reverend Sarkon. My name is Owen. I'll be your storyteller this evening as we go into another episode of our Werewolf, the Wild West, Claws and Fangs and Revolvers. Last, we left off with our group, our little pack. We picked up the next afternoon as Ardyce was led to the bar by Garrett, and they had a chat about Pepe and his sudden disappearance. And they learned that Layla also found it strange that he would leave so abruptly. But they had heard that Larissa saw him kind of talking to himself before his disappearance. Walks, we learned, was sitting in on one of Kora's lessons, seeing as how they had some extra time with the girls, and found them reading some Greek tragedy, especially the one about Orpheus and Eurydice. We got to see that Kora noticed Layla taking the story a little bit more difficult this time around, and Walks and Kora had a nice discussion about the meaning of the story, whether or not all Greek tragedies are tragedies, which they are. Spoiler alert. But we also got to see a nice interpretation from Kora's perspective of how Orpheus still manages to end up with Eurydice at the end of his life, and so love prevails. So there is a happy ending in most of the stories. Walks asked about the Pegasus and what it meant to her and what it would mean to find one. Garrett came in and interrupted their chat and mentioned that some of the girls were in distress, and Walks was going to ask around for a Pegasus spirit, and everybody kind of broke out into their own little avenues, with Ardyce playing the best Sherlock Holmes before Sherlock Holmes was even created, as she started to ask around, especially having a chat with Larissa about what they had seen with Pepe and things like that. They got some time in Kora's office where they chatted up, and they found out that Pepe had mentioned something in Spanish about a father, a mother, and some kind of family issue is the best thing that Larissa could figure out. Kora came out, and after the meeting, Ardyce just kind of picked up her things and rushed out without telling anyone where they were going. But Kora did decide to give her an hour before going after her. Walks decided to go down south, away from the town, to try and find some spirits. Had a nice little chat with a trout spirit in a small pond down and away from the city. And he got to see just the bit of the storm that's happening in the Umbra right now. But the trout spirit informed him that there were no minor Pegasus spirits around whatsoever, that it would have to be something as powerful as a Jagling or an Incarna, in fact. But he did pull himself out of the Umbra as he heard that there was a howl of war and a hunt being called. Ardyce tried as best as possible to make her way to the church without any leading, without anyone helping, because she is a strong, independent woman who don't need no man. But sometimes it pays to have someone at least around, because they found themselves cornered by several padding feet on the snow, and there was a familiar female voice with a little bit of a Cockney accent that literally picked her up off of her feet and claimed that they were there to take her home. Ardyce ended up having to use Call of the Wild to just yell into this person's face while calling for help. And we left off with Ardyce biting down on the hand that picked her up while Kora and Walks were making their way over to her. And this is where we're going to pick up with our three beautiful people. Always a pleasure to see all of you gathered. So, I'm not going to make you roll to bite. That's going to be a freebie for you.
Thanks. Is it because I'm a werewolf?
No, it's not because you're a werewolf. Everybody's a werewolf. Spoiler
I
alert.
know. No, shut the fuck up.
It's a masquerade.
There's no masquerade. But I will ask you to roll your human strength.
Okay.
Which is 2, because you haven't shifted.
Okay.
And you have an athletics of 2, so I'm going to have you roll 5 dice.
5? Okay. 5 10-siders, yeah?
5 10-siders.
Yeah.
Difficulty is going to be 5, because you're biting. Biting comes easy to you and your kind. And I don't mean that derogatorily. I mean that as in you are a werewolf.
Oh, thanks. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Just want to make sure that we clear about
all
everybody.
bases.
Everybody's a werewolf. Everybody's a werewolf.
I have 4 successes.
4 successes.
Mm-hmm.
You bite down, and you have a mouth full of fur. It is unpleasant. It is like if you've ever bitten down on like one of those old Crockett kind of like beaver hats. It tastes like that.
I like it.
Yeah, I gotta give you a visual, man.
Mm-hmm. A visual?
A visual in your mind's eye, since you are blind.
Heard. Got it.
Mm-hmm. I want to be as descriptive as possible for you. This is my gift to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You know, I try. But you do get just a mouthful of fur, and the skin itself feels rugged and leathery. And not like a leather jacket leathery, but like a crocodilian leather. Like there are bumps and there are grooves. It feels very scaly under the fur. It is gross.
Ew. I mean, it's not going to stop me from biting, but still. Yep.
Right.
See a doctor.
You know, sometimes it pays to not have vision. Because it would be a much more grosser description.
Mm-hmm.
But you do hear one of them sniffing at the air as you feel the hand, a different hand kind of come up and push the top of your head away. And you hear the voice again, "If you wanted to bite, girl, let me show you." And you feel the wolf maw come down on either side of your right shoulder. So it's a good thing that you are a metis, because you get to soak aggravated in all your forms.
Yeah.
You know, small miracles. So you're going to get your stamina, which is still in your human form, which is going to be 3 dice.
Okay.
And you're going to roll difficulty 6, so 6 is and higher, count as a success. Okay. Try and soak some of this aggravated damage that you're about to take.
Cool. I lost one. Kidding. I'll get another one. That one was bad. And also, they're all ones, so fuck me up.
Okay.
Let's go.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 points of aggravated damage. Almost takes your arm right off.
That makes sense.
The shoulder, you know for a fact, is broken. The top 3 ribs on either side of your chest or back are shattered. You can feel your right lung filling with blood. It is the most pain, I think, that Ardyce has ever felt in their life.
So if they didn't hear the call of the wild scream, they're definitely going to hear the scream of me being bitten.
Yeah. The werewolf that has bitten into you, though, just kind of vomits you out of its mouth and drops you onto the floor. Your right hand is unmoving. It is like a dead palm frond just kind of hanging from where your shoulder socket was.
Mhm.
And you can feel it is excruciating, but you can feel where normally the ball socket would sit. It is now just kind of grinding against the bottom of your socket joint. Um, but you do hear one of them kind of sniffing. They're coming, and you hear what sounds like movement, the padding of people kind of adjusting in what sounds like a direction, and then you hear the quadrupeds rush off. Now all you hear are two people kind of circling around you. One of them, for sure, is in its werewolf form, or at least one of the more lupine forms. But it is bipedal, so you can assume it is in the Crinos form. The other one does not sound heavy, so you can assume that it is still in its human form, if not in its glabro form, which is the near human, the kind of Neanderthal form.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure at this point, with the bite, Ardyce like sinks to her knees in the. It's snowing, yeah.
Yeah, there was a
Yeah,
flurry of snow.
yeah, and just kind of um pick in like a panicked rush, picks up the snow and presses it just to kind of make something numb on the wound.
What is your rage?
My rage. Let's see.
Oh shit. Okay, I was looking at it, but sure.
What? You tell me. Where the fuck do I find this? There's so many of them.
All the way at the bottom. All the way at the
Oh
bottom.
yeah, I have quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah. You have 6 rage.
I have a little bit.
Yeah. So let's have you roll 6 dice
Okay.
as
Well, I drop
you grab a fistful of snow and put it into your wound.
6. You said.
6.
What's the threat? What's the threshold?
6.
6. Okay.
Yep.
Success. 8, 8, 4, 7, and then 2 more.
So 3 so far.
7, 2.
4.
So 4.
Okay. You your body is surging and throbbing at the pain that is erupted from where your right shoulder was.
Mm-hmm.
You grit your teeth. You can hear them kind of patting around you. They're talking in the Garu tongue, but it sounds different to you. It sounds ugly and coarse, very guttural. But they're making out. They're talking about the logistics of not killing you. There is a talk of the fact that you are at prime breeding age. There is this concern that they might have gone too far with you. And as you grab this fistful of snow and willingly drive it into your wound, pain shoots out from it all over your body like lightning bolts in a storm. And reflexively, you find yourself already in Crinos form. Like you are on your feet, your left hand wings wildly like a pendulum, and you can already feel that at the end of your fingertips are these massive knife-like protrusions of claws that are your weapons of choice. There is a howl that comes out of your mouth. What emotions? What are the 3 emotions that you would want to yell out into the world right now?
3?
Mm-hmm. If you could combine 3 emotions into one sound, that is the kind of howl that you are letting out.
the underlying one
Hmm.
has to be physical pain.
Nope.
Like, has to be. Because being that she just had her fucking arm almost ripped off, that has to be that layer. The one on top of that is the emotional pain of not wanting to go back to where she came from.
Hmm.
And then the last one is I would say this deep-rooted sorrow.
Okay. The pair of footprint, a pair of like walking footfalls that you can hear shift almost like they weren't expecting you to suddenly shift into your Crinos form. One of them, the one that is in its own Crinos form, you can hear get low. The growl reverberating from its mouth drops down below where your eye level is. You can hear it kind of lowering itself into a pounce. You can hear the second set of footprints are stumbling. It is backpedaling. It is trying to make distance. And
Can I smell either one of them?
Oh, you can smell both of them.
Perfect. I would like to go after the one that's running away.
Okay.
Can I smell which one bit me?
Yeah, you know which one bit you.
Is it the one that's running away?
No, it is not.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
But if you could also, since you have shifted now to your Crinos form, if you could give me you get a stamina +3. God damn. So if you could roll 6 dice for me. Difficulty
6.
8.
Okay. Fuck. Okay.
Yeah, it is a rough difficulty only because you are healing in combat.
1 success.
1 success is all you need. So you heal one of your boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4. The red X is aggravated, by the way. Character sheet.
Hold
on. No, I took care of it.
There's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these shits.
Yeah, just keep it on all. That way you have access to everything. Then all the way at the bottom, you'll see your health. So you have You have 4 aggravated right now. You can feel healing is reflexive for Garu in their war form.
And I thought because I'm a meta say heal fast. No, I don't heal faster.
No, you just heal in every form.
Got it. That's what it was.
You get the benefit of healing in every single form, whereas regular Guru can only heal in their non-native form. So a human cannot heal in their human form. They have to be shifted. You can feel the sinew, the bone, the muscle, just starting to reshift itself. You can feel some connections reattaching themselves. The arm feels a little slightly higher. It's starting to come up off of the socket, but it's still grinding against it. It's still kind of this limp noodle on the side of your body. And as you turn your attention to the backpedaler and are driven by what I assume is an anger that we've never seen in the driver's seat for Ardyce, we're going to shift over to Kora and Walks as you come out of the Gilded Apple. Walks has told you that Ardyce might be in trouble, and then you hear the call of the wild. It is a primal yell. It is Ardyce's voice, and you're pretty sure that they could hear it all the way into the cairn itself. Like some of the people that were in the street kind of like look around to try and find where that yell, that scream has come from.
She's just running. She's already bolted through. That's her charge.
Yeah.
That's in trouble.
Yeah. You rush out of the city by the north end. The church looming like almost like a mockery as the voice, the yell that you've heard from Ardyce is nowhere near it. It is much more towards the east, closer to the river. And as you and Walks are rushing in its direction, you can see the looming forest in the distance. What looks like the reflection of 6 pairs of eyes just kind of bobbing and weaving, rushing. And as you see them notice you, all 6 of them suddenly vanish.
What is this? Do you know?
Gotta get to Ardyce.
Yeah, we're gonna keep running.
As you ask each other what this might be and keep pushing forward, you hear another yell. This one is not empowered by the call of the wild, but this one is nonetheless any better than what you heard the first time. If not, this is a harrowing kind of primal cry. And it is easily one of the things that bubbles up in Kora, the images of the girl that you just had to kill, the talk of Eurydice being ripped from Orpheus, the idea of what might be lamenting in the back of Layla's mind, like all of these things are dredged up in this one primal yell that at its core sounds like Ardyce being tortured for all intents and purposes. And as the two of you are shook by the sheer weight of this cry, there is a moment, if both of you could roll your wits in athletics, please.
What's the difficulty?
7.
Ooh,
Okay.
a 10 and a 7.
2. Okay. What did Cora get?
I've got 2, a 9 and a 7.
Okay. So both of you got 2. So both of you get attacked. Out of the Umbra, you see the 6 pair of eyes that you had lost emerge. It is a pack of wolves, but they are giving off this black steam. Their fur is mottled. Patches of it are missing, like they all have SARS. They're all diseased in some way, shape, or form. There is a green kind of tint to their saliva that reeks of taint. These are not regular wolves. If both of you could soak 5 points of lethal damage.
So how does that part work?
So you're going to roll your stamina in your human form.
Okay.
For you, it's going to be 3. Kora also has 3. Sometimes when we touch, feelings just too much. How much?
2, 6, 8.
2, 6, 8. So 2 successes. So you take 3 points of lethal damage as one of the wolves just kind of bites into the shin of your left leg, almost like it's trying to bring you down. What did Kora get?
876.
3 successes. So you only take 2 points of lethal damage. You see that the first attack is meant to incapacitate. It's meant to drop. Walks did not get enough of a threshold to stay on his feet, so he does stumble forward, and a pair of wolves are already moving in to attack. You've seen this kind of pack tactic before. These are wolves that have been bred to hunt from birth, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 that were supposed to descend on you are hesitant. You see them standing their ground. Their eyes are locked onto you. And the one that kind of bit into your leg to try to sweep you is confused. You can feel it kind of let go and start to make its way over to the other 2. Which one of you would like to go first?
You're standing.
Yes. Yes. So obviously, I'm going to spend a rage point.
Okay.
To shift into Crinos.
Ooh, immediate shift.
Yep. Bada bing, bada boom.
There's plenty of adrenaline, plenty of anger
Yeah.
in Kora for her to easily draw this up.
Yeah. Everything that's happened today, all the tension, then this is just like the terrible, terrible cherry on top of this shit Sunday.
Yep.
And it's one of those things, that wolf looks confused, and she shifts, and there's just definitely this like screaming roar that's coming in, that comes right through. And it's that very much that domineering-esque, I am the alpha here, you're nothing kind of.
Okay. Yeah, the 3 of them are out right now. They were not warned. It looks like that they were dealing with Guru. Anything else that you want to do on your turn?
I am trying to grab and swipe the one that's pinning my friend here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say that you are aiming, or is this just brute kind of swipe?
This is a very brute kind of thing.
All right, strength and brawl then.
Yeah.
Swing away, Bobby.
I got a good pull for this.
I believe you.
Ooh. What was the difficulty for the swipe? I'm trying to remember.
6.
6?
6 for a swipe, 5 for a bite.
5 successes.
5 successes. It has no dice to dodge. So that's going to be 4 threshold. So add 4 to your Crinos strength. Plus 1 for claws.
I believe it's 1.
Okay.
So 5 dice for this. We got a 10 and 2 8s and a
3.
7.
4 damage. Just like humans aren't allowed to soak lethal, regular animals, I don't think, are equipped to handle lethal damage. You rend this thing. What do you think you hit him with? The back of one claw or the full front of the other?
I think it's the full front, and it's very much beast mode where it's like lifted, and once it's up in the air, it's that grab for the throat, the roar in the face before the throw back down kind of thing.
God, you're so hot, Nikki.
Thank you.
Almost like a shovel digging into the foundation of a building. There is that crunch of the hand coming into the wolf's sternum. Whatever bones or muscle may have protected it against the wilderness, prepped it for the harshness of the reality of growing up in the wilds, were inadequate for a werewolf's full brunt force. And you bring this thing up. Its yelp, from the moment the claws dig into its body, is enough for it to have let go of Walks' leg. And as it comes up into the air, all you see is this mixture of blood and this black bile coming out of its mouth, as you can see the instant life leaves this creature's body. And when you do discard it like a dead husk, there is no resistance. It is tossed away like a sack of potatoes, and it bumps to the ground and is a lifeless body. Walks. 2 wolves are still converging on you because a werewolf's speed is scary.
I'm gonna try to go into Glabro.
Okay.
I'm not as ragey as these others.
You
And
really tried.
Now with that attitude, you ain't. All right. So are you using a rage point, or do you want to try to roll into Glabro?
Well, no, I guess if I've got to use since I got to use a rage point, I'm just gonna go Crinos. That's it.
Okay.
I'll use the rage and go to Crinos instead, just straight there.
Okay. So you will feed into some of the anger from getting bitten.
Yeah.
All right. What does your Crinos form look like? Have we ever seen it?
No, in the last game, that like other not quite this game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the one shot.
Yeah.
Just a word picture.
I'm imagining darkness and snow, shadows and red eyes, the Wendigo, really, really, really unkempt and just almost stark white fur that somehow is fluffed in a way that you get shadows all over. The only change in coloration is still the black soul. Tufts of black on the feet for my black.
Would it also be the bottom of the hands then, or just the legs?
No, just the hind.
So the hind quarters.
Yeah, you don't see my claws coming. in the snow.
Mm. Since you used your rage point to shift into your Crinos form, I will let you roll your Crinos stamina.
Yeah.
So that's 3 higher than your regular stamina. So you're rolling 6 dice, difficulty 8, to reflexively heal at the top of the round.
You can do it.
Maracas.
9, 9, 10.
Yep. All you need is 1.
Does a 1 cancel anything?
Yes. But all you need is 1 success. You've got more than enough to heal 1 health level of damage.
All right. So instead of 3, I've got 2.
What separates werewolves from the rest of the world of darkness is their almost indestructibility. I've always labeled the Trinity, the Holy Trinity of White Wolf, as like, if humans are the base bottom of the graph, vampires are like a step above, werewolves are 18 graphs above them, and then just slightly above them is mages, with the caveat that they're under vampires as well. Because mages can
Squishy.
they can rewrite reality at a whim, but they cannot soak a knife or a bullet. So if they take anything that isn't a punch or a baseball bat, they are dead. So it's very much the phenomenal cosmic power. Please don't stab me with that knife.
Itty bitty tiny body.
Itty bitty frail little body.
Yes, itty bitty frail little body.
Yep.
What about changelings?
Nobody talks about changelings.
Oh, don't be like that. Don't.
The only thing that I remember of changeling is that everybody who played changeling was also a furry at the time. So that told me a lot about changeling.
As opposed to this.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but that just might be the Miami changeling scene. So
yeah, the whole thing with changeling is being bored can kill a changeling.
Yeah. So vampires are the princes of banality, and it's like existing with a vampire is detrimental to the changeling. But at the same time, like anytime that a mage and a werewolf are in the same scene together and the werewolf transforms, the reality just goes like, well, I've got to put this paradox into somebody, so it's got to go into you. Because a werewolf shouldn't exist in a mage's paradigm, and that's why you never run games with mixed characters.
Cross-plat.
Yeah. But you do heal reflexively at the beginning of your turn. The wolf that was on top of you is dead completely. And the other two are now lunging towards what is this monstrous, almost 9-foot tall creature. How would you like to react to the two of them before they get to you?
I'm going to try to just pick whichever one's the closest and full body slam into it.
I love it. Let's do strength.
I think about biting it, but I've seen all that taint. I don't want any of that in my mouth.
Taint. Yeah. Let's roll strength and athletics then to body tackle. So your normal strength is 2.
Yep.
In Crinos form, you get 4 more.
Yep.
Your athletics is 0, so it's going to be all 6 dice.
And
just pure strength.
What's the success?
6.
So I've got 3 successes.
3 successes. It was already lunging forward to attack you, so it doesn't have any dice to dodge. So that means that you've got 2 threshold over it, so you're going to roll your strength again, plus 2 dice, plus 2 more dice for its strength.
Okay. That's a lot of dice.
That's a lot of dice.
Threshold 6 again?
Threshold is 6 again.
So that'll be 5. Oh, no, 6 successes.
6 successes. The crunch that this body makes as it takes what would you say Walks weighs on a regular day?
On a regular day?
Yeah.
Maybe
average Tuesday.
130, 140.
130, 140. So when you shift into Crinos form, it is almost a 300% increase in weight because it's all muscle.
Yeah.
So what was this $130 kind of small Indian man, Native American Indian man, that has turned into this
I think you say indigenous, my guy.
indigenous. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's all on who you're talking to.
I wanted to. The impulse was there for the IND. And it came out the wrong IND, and I was like, I gotta correct this.
Yep. Don't be Christopher Columbus. Come on.
No. You are now 800 pounds, basically, of sheer muscle and rage. Honestly. So how do you think you would describe this contact against this little wolf?
The wolf that was black and giving off like black steam and green whatever and disgusting horribleness.
Yes, all of them are giving off that vibe.
It has now simply disappeared into the snow. As my form just enveloped it and then crushed it into underneath.
There is the barest of yelps that is suddenly muffled by snow and dirt and the crunch of a Crinos. The pack that attacked you is down 2. The three that were about to descend on Kora have kept their distance. The one that's left just is unfortunately too far along in his course of action that he does just kind of come at you from whatever angle he can, and Kora sees this wolf just kind of leap up and land on the back of Walks and just bite into the shoulder as best as possible. If Walks could soak 4 with your new Crinos stamina of 6.
You can do it. You can do it.
So it's 3 successes.
3 successes. So you take 1 lethal.
4 successes.
4 successes. So you shrug off this damage. You feel the bite dig into your skin. It does not break the surface. There's not enough aggravation to your flesh, the musculature, the fur, the sheer rage of this thing even daring to attack you is enough to stay its fucking dagger-like fangs from puncturing any of your skin. How would the two of you like to proceed? Which one of you wants to go first?
Kick this thing into the stratosphere.
Yes. It's definitely that whole thing of it bites him. There's that grit. I'm assuming from my friend here, the howl is still fresh from Ardyce, and it's she is going for this one that's on her friend. The intention is again claw, throw.
Okay.
That's the idea. Claw it up, throw it back to its buddies. If I can't just kill it outright.
Are you aiming, or are you just going for the shoulder, that shovel technique?
I'm just going for the shoulder.
All right, strength and brawl.
Yeah.
As you are going to come into contact with it, you are going to hear that second guttural scream as you now know that Ardyce is in her Crinos form. So you are not alone in what it sounds like combat is happening. That's a lot.
That's 8.
8.
It would have been 9, but I got a 1.
Oh my god. I'm not even gonna let you roll for damage. You feel the resistance as far as like your claws dig into this creature, and then there's nothing else. There's air, and after a moment, there is that thud of the body falling back to the earth. There was so much strength and rage behind this one swipe that you literally pulled it off of Walks' back and sent it flying. Like it is a good 20 or 30 yards away from you when it comes back down to the earth. And unlike a football, it does not bounce and spin and slide in the snow. It comes down hard and it stays down.
Tainted wolf chunks everywhere.
Yeah.
But I think I think Walks-With-Spirits probably got this very distinct impression as she turned in her Crinos form with the rage and all that anger. There might have been this weird thing of where he was like, he might be thinking, is she aiming at me? Has she lost it? And then
Always a situation when the Arun is raging. But if you could give me your stamina roll to heal this round.
yes, please. I would like that very much.
Difficulty is 8. All you need is 1. Because all you can heal is 1.
Yeah. Thankfully, I'm in Crinos.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, nice.
Technically, I have 3, but you know.
All you need is 1.
Yeah.
So you heal 1 more health level. I think that's it, right? You're fresh?
I'm still bruised, but I'm not hurt.
Okay. Yeah, so you don't have any minuses anymore.
Yeah. That was the thing, is I had minuses. Curse you.
Yeah. Yeah, so Walks now suddenly has this weight on top of it. There is the crunching of snow as Kora turns in your direction and steps towards you, and then the weight is gone. And you do hear that thump a few seconds later. In the distance, mind you. There are 3 left. They are slowly backing away from you, though.
We just heard Ardyce's yell.
Yeah, you have just heard
as much as these things were on us.
Mm-hmm.
That was just an obstacle to getting to her.
Yep. So if you want to roll your stamina to heal for this round. Two successes. Difficulty 8. All you need is 1, so you heal 1 more health level. And if you're going to be running towards Ardyce, I will say that in the interim, both of you can heal back to full health.
Just by walls and some ammo and healing potions?
Right? And as you rush away from the 3 that are left, well, let me not assume. Hold on a second. Walks makes their way, starts to push their way toward Ardyce. Is Kora of the same mind?
Kora is of the same mind, but there's definitely that growl and posturing towards the other ones that definitely don't come after, don't come back. I will turn you into skin rugs. kind of thing.
Okay.
Ribbons, probably.
Do you think you're good with just the posturing, or do you want to roll
I'll
intimidation?
I'll roll the intimidation just to get it out there.
Okay.
Would that be charisma?
No. I think this is full on strength and intimidation.
Okay.
They've seen what you can do. I don't think that the hit that you take on charisma and manipulation are worth it here.
What's that difficulty?
We'll say 5. They are coward already. They've seen you destroy half of their pack.
That's 6. It
Okay,
would have been 7, but I got 1.
They are never coming back. They sometimes wolves talk about different territories, and they know about this one territory out somewhere the fuck else that isn't here, and that's where they're gonna go.
Yeah, they should.
So as you two are rushing off towards Kora, having driven the fear of God into these last 3, running off towards Ardyce, we're gonna shift to Kora, to Ardyce.
Where are we going? Where are we?
It's been a long day. It's been
Circle.
I've been juggling different things. So it's been a long day. I'm sorry. Kora and Walks are rushing towards Ardyce. We are shifting towards Ardyce. You are going after the backpedaler, you said?
But what's Jonathan doing?
Jonathan is completely off doing Jonathan things.
I am going towards the back.
You know where Jonathan is? Jonathan's with Pepe. That's where he is.
No! Pepe's not dead!
Pepe's not dead.
Jonathan's dead. We saw him die.
Yeah. You asked where Jonathan was, and I told you where Jonathan was. I didn't say where Pepe was. I said where Jonathan was.
Up yes.
See?
Sorry,
this is how you die. But do you want to still attack the backpedaler, or do you want to attack the one that bit you?
Well, the one that bit me kind of bit me hard.
They sure did.
I picked the other guy.
Okay.
It hurt.
Do you want to try to heal at the top of your turn or after you take your actions?
After my actions.
Okay.
Fuck it.
Sure. So you're going to try to lunge at the backpedaler. You're going off of just your sense of sound alone and your sense of smell. And your sense of smell.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a perception plus brawl.
Perception.
Excuse me. Minus 2 dice for your wound penalties. So it's going to be 2 dice.
Just 2. What's the threshold?
6. Difficulty 6.
I want to run away. Well, fuck me, I guess. That was not a success.
No successes whatsoever?
Nope.
Okay.
No ones, but no success.
Okay. Your ear tilts in his direction. The snout comes around. You have an idea of where he is, and so you swipe in that direction. You don't come in contact with anything.
Perfect. Nice.
And then you hear his voice. Miranda, could you deal with this one, please?
Miranda?
That's what you hear.
Okay. Miranda's the one that bit me, so I don't want to
Yep.
do that. Fuck. They're
Hmm.
coming. I know Ardyce doesn't know that they're coming, but Ardyce wants to run away. But I don't know how helpful that would be at the moment.
Sure. I mean, you would be picking a direction and running and hoping that you are running towards the city.
What could I roll to see if I would run towards them?
That would be a perception and alertness.
Mm-hmm.
Again with the -2, so I would put you at 3 dice. Got the
With
8.
6. Oh! Fuck!
Hmm.
I don't know if I want to do that. Because Ardyce isn't great at rolls.
You never know if you don't try.
Fuck it, I will try.
Yep.
YOLO.
YOLO. Worst thing that can happen is you're just gonna run in a random direction.
I really am. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run in a random direction.
Okay. Yeah, you hear the male voice as you swipe at him and then start to book it. You just hear him as you're running. What the fuck is going on? Is she?
Perfect.
And you just hear the other voice. I got her, and you hear the thumping of something heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I will let you roll your stamina to reflexively heal since your turn is over now.
Okay.
So you're going to be rolling 6 dice. Difficulty 8.
6. 8. Okay.
Yeah. All you need is 1 success to heal. 1 health level.
Okay. No. Just 1 success.
Okay. That's enough.
Mm-hmm.
You heal. You are now at injured.
Yay!
And the heavy footfalls break down, and you hear a quadrupedal padding suddenly kind of gallop in your direction, and then there's this heavy breath, and you feel what is a wolf land on the left shoulder this time, and then you feel the bite come down. Because they're not trying to kill you, though, this will be lethal damage, not aggravated.
Okay. Because they are or are not trying to kill me.
They are not trying to kill you.
Also, I have a very small question, Will, but I
Sure.
wanted to ask this now. You said because Ardyce is of breeding age. I thought because she's a metis that she can't bear children.
Correct.
Oh, okay. Ew! Gross! Okay, anyways, continue.
Yep. If you could soak 4 points of lethal damage for me.
Okay. Is that 4 die or no?
No, I did 4 points of damage, so you've got to roll your 6 dice.
6. Okay.
Difficulty 6.
Okay.
Every success reduces the
Okay.
amount of damage you're taking.
Okay, 2 success.
2 successes. Okay, so you take 2 points of lethal damage. Putting you back at mold.
Love that.
Yep.
I'm gonna be so hot after this.
Do you let out another yelp of pain, or are you gritting your teeth on this one?
I would say that Ardyce is probably being as vocal as possible, just in case. Just in case.
Okay. Does a new yelp of pain do anything for Walks and Kora's pace?
What is that,
I
Nikki?
don't know that we can go faster than we're
Faster.
going.
Faster.
No, just do this. Just be like.
This is faster.
Let's go
Yeah.
faster.
How fast is?
This one is half speed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But like
Got
this,
it.
this is full speed.
Mhm.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
have you been going full speed, or have
So
you been
this is-
half-assing it?
We were
I
only
think-
going like this.
Yeah, I think this is a gallop. I think this is a trot.
Yeah.
Oh,
We were
okay.
moseying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
Maybe-
this
maybe,
is
like-
a mosey.
Yeah, that's a mosey. That's a mosey. Like this might be like a canter.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know.
No, you're drunk if you're doing this.
That's why you're cantering.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we created visual effects for this for the one person who can't see.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So you two push the limit of your strength. So if you guys could roll, I'm assuming you're still in Crinos form.
Mhm.
So if you want to roll your Crinos strength and athletics to push, actually stamina and athletics to push yourselves.
Far are they? How far did I walk?
You walked a good distance.
Because you botched.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Right at the
You
average.
ain't going back to church again.
Not by yourself.
She didn't go to church this time.
No. You went to fuck off where?
Yeah.
What's the difficulty in your ST?
6. I am benevolent.
5 successes.
Okay.
To
I think he's killing it, dude.
Kora, by whatever connection you've established with Ardyce, the moment that you hear another yelp of pain, it just pushes you even further. You dig deep. Even though you grew up by Petal and Homid, there is such a nuanced, natural gift to this form, especially when you let your rage become the conductor of the train. There is no stopping you can immediately become a bulldozer if you want to be, and this is what's become of Kora, I think. There is the lunge. Every conservative move is now thrown to the wind, and every lunge is full extension. Every dig is fully contracted. You are trying to get the most out of your body as much as possible, and you shoot forward and walks. Although you can push yourself forward, you are not Aura in this, and you're not sure if it's because of the Orun, the full moon's gift, or if it's just the connection that they have with each other. But there is a fire in Kora that is definitely equivalent to the Doc Brown logs in Back to the Future 3. Like that train is pushing. Someone's getting to 88 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Uh,
I can't let them hurt another metis. That's what's going on.
But Ardyce, you feel the wolf has been into you.
Mhm.
You can hear the man's voice. Don't kill her. We still need her for the fucking... God damn it. You always did this, you fucking cunt, Ardyce. And you hear...
He just called me a cunt?
Yeah.
Rude.
And you hear the hammer lock of a pistol. And there is a thunder crack that reverberates all the way to Kora and Walks. The bullet pierces the skin, and immediately, Ardyce, this is a pain that is not normal. This is not a knife wound. This is not a punch. This is not even the bite that almost ripped your arm clean off your body was pleasant compared to this pain. It doesn't hit flesh and stick, like it grazes you. Like this bullet grazed you, and it drops you. And for the first time, you have felt what silver does to a werewolf. And not only does the wound burn, your whole body starts to convulse. You are sweating. You are fevered. And as Kora comes up on the clearing, the darkness is washed away for a moment, for an instant, as the muzzle flash of this revolver lights up the scene. And you see Ardyce in her Crinos form. We've heard you describe it, right? Like we know what that looks like. There is a chunk of just open musculature, sinew, bone visible in the right shoulder. There is a wolf on top of her left shoulder, very much in the same fashion as the pack that you just fought off. The fur is patched. There are thick kind of crocodilian scales that are visible in its body. The eyes, however, as it kind of looks up in your direction, are not wolf eyes. These are Garu eyes that are looking up at you. The gentleman is dressed almost like a banker. Vest, clean shirt, no tie, open button top, no hat, slacks, and boots, but he does have a gunslinger's belt with bullets, and the gun looks like a Colt single action army, military grade. And the muzzle flash is enough for you to see all of this painted out like a Kirkland portrait for you. And the glint of the bullet, as you're not sure if it's the aim or if Ardyce smelled you at the last moment and turned, but it grazes the bottom of her rib cage and eats through that side of her body. And in the instant that you catch the glimmer of it from the dying muzzle flash and its impact in the snow, you already know before you even get there, you can sense the silver. And when you see Ardyce drop, everything breaks. There are no more checks and balances.
She is going to go nuts here, probably.
Okay.
My thought is, she sees the muzzle flash. She recognizes the silver. She sees Ardyce drop. And she immediately goes to lunge and rip the gun owner a new one. The one who shot it.
Okay.
Because even though she wants to take care of Ardyce, if she leaves the one with the silver up and running and going, that's more danger.
Sure.
And it's basically, there's a shout at walk.
Oh, you got cut off.
Yeah, yep. And there's a shout at walks. It's Ardyce!
Okay.
I'm gonna assume that I cannot fight for a little bit.
You are dropped.
Got it. I'm gonna assume I'm down.
Yeah.
Going for the full leap action there.
Sure. So, you Walks hears the thunder crack. There is a thump of a heavy, heavy body, and what is very interesting about Metis for me is that when werewolves are knocked unconscious, they revert to their breed form. So whatever form they were born in. If you're a human, you revert back to your Homid form. If you're lupus, you revert back to your wolf form. Metis stay in their Crinos form. And so as Walks comes across the scene, you can see that there is this heavy Metis form of Ardyce just on the floor, face down, tongue out, unconscious. The arm is a crater of muscle and bone and sinew. The wolf on top of it kind of has followed Kora's trajectory, but it's slowly turning back to you, and it is standing on top of Ardyce like it owns her. But the eyes are not lupine. This is not a regular wolf. This is another guru. There is tact and intelligence behind those eyes. Kora, roll your Dex and Brawl. Are you swiping or are you biting? How is Walks approaching the situation?
Since I got significantly slower there than Arun, I'm going to try to go for some pack tic-tacs, if I can.
Okay.
And in whichever way, get around to a different direction than Kora's coming.
Okay. Kora, you see Kora lunge towards the figure with a gun, and as you get close enough, you can start to sense the silver. There is a concentration of it somewhere in this vicinity. Good reason it might be the humanoid. It's there, the human. Kora lunges forward, and right as the heavy claw of this Crinos that you've seen destroy creatures left and right, it comes in contact with nothing. The human you lose sight of for a brief moment, and then you hear the hammer click back, and then you see a muzzle flash illuminate the surroundings, and you don't know how this happened, but he is right where Ardyce is, standing next to the wolf, and just kind of having his hand outstretched and just firing at Kora. Kora, you did not save any dice to dodge.
I did not.
Okay.
Cora's not in that mindset to think that strategically.
Yeah. I rolled garbage, so I only got one threshold.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good, because silver bullets are garbage. So Kora takes 2 points of aggravated damage. Whereas normally you would have been given a chance to soak damage coming in, Silver cuts through that. Werewolves and Silver notoriously have a relationship. Luna's gift to humanity was Silver once the Impergium went into full swing and humans became hunted. Luna gave humanity one gift to protect themselves, and this is Silver. Again, the bullet does not eat any of your flesh. It is another graze. This guy is not a gunslinger, but you don't need to be when you have silver in your fucking gun. Has Kora ever dealt with Silver before?
Maybe once when she was much younger than where she is.
You are in a rune. It would stand to reason that you might have come into contact with Silver before.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an old pain that surges through your body. Fire erupts. You know that even with the amount of pain that's going through your body right now, this could have been much deadlier. And you're not sure what you're dealing with, but the fact that someone like him has Silver makes him the most dangerous person in the world right now. But you see that Walks has kind of come into the fray. The wolf that was on top of Ardyce, you see it shift up into its Crinos form, and you can see Kora's body dig into the snow and earth around it as this weight just kind of pushes her body down. There's no yelp. There's no cry. Ardyce is, for all intents and purposes, out of commission. But you two do hear the crack of the bones as this weight just kind of sits on the back of her spine. And this new Crinos just does not show a lick of caring. Which one of you two would like to go first? Always defer to the alpha.
Always defer.
I know, I'm seeing this, and he's like, you want to go first? And I'm like, of course, I'm a murder
You got there
machine.
first, too.
All right, let's see. Still in Crinos. We're staying there.
Mm-hmm.
And she is again going to come. Probably she has that pain, but it's an immediate. I've got shit to do. I've been through this before. We've got to deal with this problem, and she is going for this person with the silver. She is going to rip their throat out.
Okay. Roll your attack.
Mm-hmm.
You're brute strengthening your way towards him.
Mm-hmm.
So strength and brawl. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. It's just 3 this time. We knew it was coming. The dice luck is deteriorating slowly.
Yep. Again, and you have never faced someone like this. With werewolves, when they move fast, you are used to it. You know what to expect. You've done it yourself. This guy is it's a phantom. You go to swing, and this time there's a bit of a scoff, almost like now that he's seen your one trick, he knows how to combat it. And this time, you don't even hear the hammer cock, but you see the muzzle flash from the tree line. He's in a different time code right now. How fast he moved and where he is. This is not a guru. Walks. Actually, even her odds in your favor, Donald.
Even? Wait, odds on the three-sided die?
No. So you see the muzzle flash all the way in the distance. You are left with this Crinos on top of Ardyce, and you are wondering just how this thing is moving so fast when the air around you is ripped. Because you haven't acted, you do get to dodge. So this will be a wits and athletics from you.
Okay.
Difficulty 6.
Okay.
Every success, even with your low dice pool, every success helps you to lessen the amount of damage you're going to take.
A 1 and a 4.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So
I think I'm just gonna lick that bullet.
So this one, unlike the other 2 bullets that have come flying out of this man's revolver, this one finds purchase in your body. And not only does it find purchase, it is a new addition to your bone structure. Like, it hits you, and this is this the first time that the Walks has dealt with silver, do you think?
Yep.
Okay.
See.
So it hits you, dead flesh, like right where one of your kidneys would be, and there is this crater where your fur, or your beautiful, pristine white fur, once casted shadows in every direction. There is now this red and purple crater of organs. You can see your stomach, you can see your gallbladder. There is sinew and muscle that has been shredded. There, you have never seen a wound like this before, and you probably never will again. And you sitting in the center of this massive flesh crater in your body is the silver bullet. And you feel it every instant, every millisecond that it is in contact with your muscle, your flesh, your anything associated with you. It burns like your entire soul, your entire lineage is on fire. Your ancestors are in pain from how much this burns you. And there's no soak. You have taken 5 points of damage and you are dropped. And Kora hears Walks just stumble for a moment and collapse back. And there's just that crater of red sitting there in his side, and just the blood is starting to ruin all of his fur and the snow around him.
Oh, this is terrible then awesome. All at once. It's metal as fuck. Oh.
Yep. There is a moment where you can act before this other Crinos turns his attention to you. But you notice that it was kind of keeping itself between you and Walks, kind of making sure that both of you were in its field of vision. And the second that Walks kind of tumbles back, it now slowly turns to fully face you.
I know you said that I'm dropped, but I'm able to say anything.
Make a rage roll. Difficulty
All right.
8.
How many?
Whatever
rage
your
one?
rage is, 6.
6?
Yeah.
Yay! I almost dropped another one. I don't know what's happening, but I keep dropping my dice. Okay. You said 8? Nope. All right.
Difficulty
hold on.
8.
Did not succeed. Not once. So
Nope.
no worries. Fuck me
Yep.
then.
the
Fun.
the urge is there. You can hear the pack. Your labored breathing lets you smell Walks's familiar earthen scent, and then suddenly there's this waft of blood that you know he's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel the pain surging through your body. You try to bring yourself to just kind of say something, anything, and Kora can see the slight movement as the face kind of comes up and then just kind of tumbles down again. There is a struggle. What is Kora doing?
Oh man.
Cora, what is you doing, baby girl?
I think it's that Ardyce is down. Now Walks is down.
Yeah.
One pump chump down.
He's a theurge. You can't
I know.
judge him by your
I was
metrics.
gonna kill her.
I know you were, and that's why I needed you up.
Ew.
It's okay. It's okay. We will figure this out.
He's got 3 more bullets.
That's all he has is 3 more bullets.
Walks has some firearms knowledge.
Seeing that happen, as much as Kora is angry, it's definitely a shock to her system that she needs to be thinking more.
Yeah. This has definitely put you off of your pedestal.
Yeah. Ask some fucking questions.
Kora is going to go for the most ridiculous move in the book here, where she is turned. She is walking in between where Shooty McShooter is and the werewolf, the Garu that's right in front of her. And it's definitely that kind of rage-induced why. Why is this happening? Why are you doing this? And what she is actually trying to do is she knows the other person's going to shoot, regardless. But what she's trying to do is to keep the werewolf in front of her distracted to where she might be able to dodge out at the last minute.
Gotcha. Smart.
Using some subterfuge kind of Athenaine tactics here.
You're so smart.
That's why she's in charge.
You ask why in the Garu tongue. The other Crinos kind of looks at you, its head tilted, and then you see underneath its right rib cage there is this curved blade that comes out and emerging from the Umbra as if it also heard this cry for help. You see the form of the Naga, full war form, It has driven its knife through this thing, and you hear it speaking its own kind of Garu tongue, and instantly there is this green and blue fire that engulfs his blade, and the Crinos, screams in pain. And then the one thing that I think no one in this group has seen, and that only Kora is going to get to see, is the female that's always with him steps sideways with him, and you see her explode into thousands of spiders, and webbing starts to engulf this Crinos, and they pull it into the Umbra. The clearing goes silent as a grave. But you are left with Ardyce and Walks in whatever debilitated state they're in.
Both knocked the fuck out.
Well, I'll be totally honest. I'm going to be pulling that bullet out of Walks-With-Spirits' stomach so that his body can try and regenerate. Because while that's in there, he can't.
Is that the noise?
Yeah. You know, sometimes you gotta be in Crinos form to do surgery, bro. Just be like, boop.
Yep. That's kind of what's going on here. The tiniest little claw and the...
No, manipulation -3.
Manipulation is social. Yeah. The instant that Kora touches the bullet, it sends a ripple of pain through Walks, and even grabbing it with the 3 claw tips and pulling it, there is that almost painful rip of a band-aid, as the silver had already started to become part of his body. The healing, the regeneration was so kicked into overdrive to try and fix it as fast as possible that it had already just been like, fuck it, this is part of our body now, and started to pull itself around. So you rip it out of his body. There's a little bit of pain that surges through you, but the bullet is gone.
Am I awake?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just barely. But you can sit there for a good while and just let your wounds heal in your Crinos form. At one point, you can hear the cough as air starts to circulate regularly through Ardyce's mouth. And you come to. And after a moment...
am I able to sense that they're here? Nope.
The people that attacked you, no. But Kora and Walks, you can definitely sense.
Okay.
And then you smell the gentleman from the bar and the woman that's with him, and you see both of them emerge from the Umbra in their Homid forms. And he looks at Kora, looks back at the woman that's with him, and just kind of brings his finger up to his mouth. But he looks around. I don't sense the other one.
It moves so fast. I've never seen anything move that fast.
I wish we could have gotten here sooner. But our coyote was missing.
Missing?
We waited as long as we could before rushing in this direction. Luckily, there was plenty of painful noises to lead us in the right direction.
Ardyce is still trying to cough up a lung before saying.
I'm inching my way over to her.
You dragging your fucking body? No.
I'm almost thinking Kora kind of sees this dragging motion, and there's kind of this eye roll as she kind of grabs him by the scruff and brings him right over to Ardyce. It's one of those things like she half lifts him so his feet are still dragging on the ground a bit.
Yeah.
The moment that she senses that she's Kora and Walks is nearby and there's not anyone else that she's worried about, Ardyce is like silently trying to hold it together but is sobbing silently and is like as she understands that Kora and Walks actually did come.
Yeah.
And she fucked it
up. There's a moment where the gentleman kind of points at Ardyce and the woman nods and goes over, and you feel the presence before you feel the actual like finger in your wound, but there is a press into your wound, and Kora and Walks both see this woman like literally just jam her finger in Ardyce's wound and then just smear the blood all over her tongue.
Obviously, she's just gonna fucking yelp again. What the fuck?
And the woman takes a patch of fresh snow and kind of wipes it clean, just kind of wipes it like a board, and then she draws a symbol for Kora, a division symbol, and then she draws a very elaborate second symbol. Excuse me. The first symbol is recognizable by the two of you that can see. It is the symbol for the Fianna tribe. The second symbol, is one that you've seen before on the young girl that you had to kill. It is a black spiral mark. And immediately you see the Naga pull his knife again. Do you have any last words for your friend?
What? She's a Fianna menace.
Correct, but there are two Garou that must copulate to create a menace.
Ardyce is completely silent and just continues to sob as quietly as possible because she doesn't want to disappoint Kora or Walks any further.
No, this isn't how we do things.
My associate has never been wrong about a Garou's lineage.
It might be that she... I don't deny your friend understanding her lineage. But she was raised Fianna. She was raised away from what other elements. In our culture, the child is separated from the parents.
We just killed a black spiral dancer that was trying to recruit her. What makes you think that they will stop? This explains why the young girl was spying on us, why you had to kill her. Do it again, Arun. This is your purpose.
She's my charge. She's a part of my pack. I understand maintenance when it's necessary, but it's not her fault. Her parents were this way. I don't think they were trying to recruit Ardyce. I think they were trying to force her to come with them. Kidnapping is different than recruitment.
I will warn you that our matron will not want to work with someone of her lineage. If you insist on keeping her, our good graces ends here. You are on your own.
Ardyce has a shaky breath and says, "It's okay, Kora. You can do what's best."
I'm not going to kill you. I have an assumption that you came out here for at least a life. Especially with what I know now.
I wish you luck, Miss Leventis. It has been a pleasure.
It has been an honor as well. Thank you for
And
the
you see
kindness
them.
and charity you've given.
You see them both step sideways.
Ardyce, not only does she not look up for other reasons, but she's hanging her head fairly low, even though she's already on the ground.
And there is, after a long moment, a long while, everybody is healed enough that I think Kora's the first to come out of Crinos' form. Comes out of Crinos' form. Does Ardyce willingly leave the Crinos form?
Without having a conversation with Walks and Kora, she does not, no.
So once Kora and Walks are fully healed, and they can see that Ardyce is fully healed, you also notice that she is still in her Crinos form.
Kora,
Yes, honey.
I don't want to cause any more trouble than I already have. And I'm not sure how to fit myself anywhere, but I've grown to very much love you and Walks, and I don't see myself as being helpful. And now that they are not going to give up and find me wherever I go, I might as well go alone.
No. Just no.
It's such a problem and such a burden for you to keep me around in all kinds of ways. I know how much you care, but you should also think about yourself and your tribe.
My tribe?
Mm-hmm.
I'm the only one of my tribe here.
Your pack, I'm sorry.
And you're a part of my pack. We work together. We take care of each other together.
It's not my fault that I am the way that I am.
No.
I know that. But it still makes me feel guilty for the repercussions that happen around me.
Kora is just going to go over and hug Ardyce.
Okay.
It's the first time probably Ardyce has ever felt bigger than Kora. because
Yeah.
she's in Homid.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I don't want you to go.
Hmm?
You're staying. We're staying together as a pack. The world is
Maybe
cruel.
I shouldn't take walks by myself.
No walks by yourself.
And I don't mean walks with spirits. Sorry.
I don't think you're going to be able to go to church anymore. I'm sorry.
That brings her back to that kind of like grounds her and is like, what do you mean I can't go to church anymore?
Giant Crinos. What do you mean? Can't go to church?
Yeah. Just this pouting Crinos.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that image so much.
Yeah. So great. At this point, does Ardyce acquiesce to the human side of herself? Or do you think she's
Yes.
still...
She does, but what I'm picturing is if they bit me before then, my clothes probably look awful.
You don't have any
No
clothes.
Good, perfect, awesome.
If
That's
they
wonderful.
if they were not bound to you, then you have
Awesome.
shreds of fabric.
Awesome. So
Yeah. So as soon as you shift down, the two of you notice that she is naked, and you start to feel that cold on your naked body bite a little harder than normal.
They did a number on that dress.
Say that again.
They did a number on that dress.
I almost forgot that it's not. It's done for, and maybe. Oh boy, what's worse, going back into the village in any other form, or going back in this form without clothing?
If you shift down to Lupus, no one will notice that you're naked.
You will just be a dog.
Well, everybody will notice you're naked, but it'll be okay because you'll be.
Yeah, that's the truth. You're
You'll be a
covered with
wolf.
fur.
Yeah.
Also, Ardyce wasn't embarrassed when it was just Kora, but when she realizes that Walks is also there, she's like, "Hey!" in the most shrill voice. She's Walks, you better not look the other way. Okay, is there? And she's trying to figure out a plan how to sneak into the brothel without A, being naked, or B, being a wolf. Because Kora, how am I gonna get back into?
You'll just follow me, and then I'll open the door to your room to you.
Okay, I can do that.
I'll take off my shirt and give it to her to cover up.
With my Lupus
I have Charlie back at the place, keeping a constant spell up for me, or whatever it's called.
All we need to do is now find a little bit of rope to put around her neck a little bit, and we have a little bit of a leash. And
It better not awaken anything inside of you.
I'm pretty good with knots.
Ardyce goes down to, is it Lupus or Beast?
Lupus.
I thought it was Beast form.
Lupus.
Yeah, Lupus is your beast form.
Got it. Lupus form, and just quietly follows behind.
Okay.
Thank you, Walks, but you can. It would be indecent. I don't.
As you are being led into the city, Kora and Walks, nobody bats an eye at the spectacle of you kind of coming into the city with a wolf with rope tied around its neck. Nothing strange is ever questioned at the Gilded Apple. But you do notice as you're walking that there is a lot of festivities coming from the Gold Digger. And if you come within spying distance of what's going on, you will notice that the gentleman that is the face of the Gold Digger that Kora has dealt with in the past. He is Lucius is kind of standing there cheering his drink with a group of people. Chief among them is the older gentleman, the hairless top, the kind of salt and pepper beard that's trimmed and well kept, the vest and workman's shirt with the unbuttoned top and no tie, the slacks, the very nice shoes that he seems to be wearing, and the chain of a fob watch that seems to go from one vest pocket to the other. And there is a smile across his face as you're not sure if he sees you from wherever you are, but he definitely is looking in your direction, almost like saying, "Come and get me." But him and Lucius step into the Gold Digger. There is a fanfare of cheers, and as you come into the Gilded Apple, which is the safety of home base for the three of you, this is where we're going to come to a complete end with tonight's episode.
Like how Donald was shaking his head.
Oh, you can hear it in his voice.
Yeah, I always.
Yeah.
He goes like that.
Gonna rip them in apart.
Yeah. But as always, thank you guys for participating in this. What an episode. Got to see a lot of different facets of every one of you, I think. And some new stuff that we get to take moving forward. It is what a treat I think this is. So I hope that you're having fun. I'm having a great old time. As always, at the end of our episodes, I want to give you guys a chance to kind of plug whatever you're doing. So we'll start with Donald. Do you want to be found on the internet, and what are you up to outside of this game?
Nah. I got nothing. At some point, I'll have something, but I don't do anything.
Okay. Ray, what
Follow
are you
Will,
up to?
Patreon, Will subscribe, Will poetry, all the stuff.
Thank you. Ray, what are you up to?
Well, I play this, and then on the other Tuesdays, I play L5R, which is also getting to be pretty heated. So I think you're just putting all of the like climaxes at the same time. That would be. Anyways, you can follow me at Instagram at Ray REI of Moonlight, and I think that's all I have going on for me right now. Okay. Unless you want to put me in another game, Will.
No, there is
just do it.
Only
just
so much of you that I can stomach.
Every week? You do it twice a week.
I don't know about that. We'll see what happens. Nikki, what are you up to, and where can people find you on the internet if you want to be found?
Yep. I am on Twitter at the Squishy Bear. I'm also known as
That's cute.
I'm also known as the Goth Fury Court. Rebranding and all that. You'll find me on this stream. On occasion, you'll find me over at McStabber Studios and Port of the Wayward Gamer. And right now, I'm not doing anything, but I'm always just chaos incarnate. So I show up randomly in various places.
This is correct. Speaking of McStabber Studios, I'm hoping that I can start to speak about one of the projects that we have coming up. Luckily, it has fallen on a day that has nothing to do with anything else that I'm streaming, so we will not have to sacrifice Werewolf or L5R for it. But I will say that I had to buy a costume for it, so that's gonna be an interesting.
Is it tights?
It is not tights. It's just the top
Damn.
half. It is just the top
So-
half of the costume.
But can you wear tights anyways?
You could be bottomless.
I'm gonna
You're
be
gonna
I'm gonna be
fucking
bottomless.
Bottomless?
Yeah, I'm gonna be
Yeah, of
bottomless.
course he
Obviously.
is.
Obviously.
Where's the banana?
Who wears pants? I will tell you that there are a lot of strings to my top. So
Whoa.
yep. Mhm. I
was
went in.
picturing a lot of things.
This
I went in
sounds
wanting
like
to be-
another promise.
I went in wanting to be something, and by the time we were done with the Shanky Method Zero, I completely came out a different situation. It's gonna be a very interesting, interesting story. I guarantee you, given the cast and what we are, it's going to be worth watching. But as always, you can catch us here every Tuesday. Every other Tuesday, we do Werewolf of the Wild West. And the Tuesdays that we don't do Werewolf of the Wild West, we do Legend of the Five Rings. Every other Thursday, we do 7th Sea. It used to be congruent with a Dungeons and Dragons game, but given the debacle that happened with the open gaming license, we no longer support Hasbro or Wizards of the Coast on this channel. So, but on Mondays, you can catch us for Vampire the Masquerade. It is a dual storyline. One Monday is an Anarch coterie, and the other Monday is a Camarilla coterie in Salem, Oregon in 1984. It is almost 1985. So that's going to be an interesting New Year's Eve celebration of a session. But as always, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I appreciate all of you for being a part of this. We take mental health on the channel very seriously, and one of our mottos is that it's okay to not be okay. And the more people know about that, the better off I think we'll be. So if you need help, and if you're in the United States, there is a list of phone numbers going up if you're watching live on the Twitch chat. They'll be in the description box if you're watching on YouTube. But just know that there are resources so that you can have help if you need it. There are people who can and will try to help you as best as possible. If you're not in the United States, you can follow a link to find the resources nearest you in those places outside of the United States. I believe that it's up to like 140 different countries, so it's extensive. But just, be aware of it. No one person is an island. We are an amalgamation of our friends and our family and the experiences that we have with each other. So please stick around so that we can continue to have experiences with you. As always, I love doing this. I can't imagine myself doing something else. So I thank you for supporting us. I thank you guys for allowing me to run this story. I came in with an idea that I tossed at Ray at the last minute that I had been mulling over, and I appreciate you running with it. It's going to be so much more fun moving forward, I think, because everyone in this group, except Walks, I think, has some kind of secret. So it's going to be really, really delicious once everyone is getting to see everyone's cards. So until then, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you when we see you. Please have a good night.